Hey, what's up, guys? So, as most of you know, I play Jett primarily, and I usually take the role of a duelist, and I think that Jett is the best duelist to play to be able to really benefit your team. A lot of people say that she's a really selfish agent, but the great thing that Jett has is the fact that she can really play her life and stop trades from happening. You know, she's like an anti-trade agent, kind of similar to Reyna, where she can get that quick kill and then dash out, before she gets traded out, which is really powerful, especially at the higher tiers of play. That being said, as you get into the higher tiers of play, as you get into higher platinum and diamond, you need to be more versatile and be able to play other agents than just duelists, because sometimes your team just simply needs a Cypher or a Sage or a Brimstone or whatever it may be. If you hop into a game and two people auto-lock duelists, there's not much you can do about it. You can try to play your third duelist and just hope you win the game, but it's a lot more beneficial, in my opinion, to be able to play those other agents. So I've taken Cypher under my wing, and this just goes to show you that with a little bit of practice, you can play multiple roles very well. I spent about 2 days playing only Cypher, played a little bit of Brimstone, but almost all Cypher. And the thing about playing Cypher is it doesn't make a whole lot of great gameplay, because his true role is to be completely passive. I have had multiple rounds that I consider perfect Cypher rounds, which is where I sit on a site, I sit on B site, let's say, on whether it be bind or ascent or wherever I'm playing, and I sit on the site, I watch my cameras, I have my Cypher trap set up, and the other team goes A. Just go A and play. And I do absolutely nothing, because the rest of my team on A, kills everybody on that site, and I quite literally do nothing all around, which I consider to be a perfect round, because you can pick up your Cypher traps real quick. You're gaining that eco, and you essentially did your job. You held down the site that you were supposed to. And if that doesn't happen, a lot of times what I've noticed happens is if they do decide to full stack push your site, you'll sit on the site. Sometimes you're alone on the site, sometimes you have one other person with you, and then you'll get one, maybe two kills as your teammates are rotating over. You either fall back and then attack the site and try to retake the site with your team, or you get a kill or two and then die, and then that's the end of it. It's very hard to solo hold a site in a 1v5. No matter how good you are, it's just so easy to get traded off as your teammates are rotating over. So it doesn't make for the greatest gameplay. Now, when Cypher's on offense, he has a little bit more flexibility, because even though he's not an entry player and he's primarily used to watch flanks, he can kind of get away with just doing that with his trips and push site with the rest of the team, and so you do get a little more chances to have more eventful gameplay, I guess you could say. I think I got an ace and a 4K in this video on offense with Cypher, and then like a 4K and a couple other nice little rounds on defense. But a lot of these are simply one person trying to lurk on my site while the others are in mid or pushing the other site. You watch them on the camera, you ping them, you get your little kill, or you ping them and they run away, or something like that. So it's just not all that eventful, but I did do really well. That's the thing that I want to really point out with this video, is even though I was playing a completely different role than I would usually be playing, I'm not playing that entry fragger, and I'm not playing that aggressive defensive position. I am really just sitting back, as far back on the site as I can on defense, just watching my cams, and on offense, just kind of sitting back, watching our flanks, and trying to help out the team where I can. And I was able to do it very well. didn't take me more than 1 or 2 games to really get a good grasp of how to play that deep support role. And I do find it fun, though I do find being a duelist a lot more fun, as it should be. You can still have a lot of success playing as that support character. I may not be the top. Actually, I had multiple games where I was top frag. Never mind. But you may not always be that top frag agent. Ideally, you shouldn't be. Your duelist should be those top frag agents who are running in there getting more kills than everybody else. Somehow I ended up being top frag more than my teammates. Usually, at least, I found myself at least at the top 1 or 2 of the leaderboard the majority of my games, even though I was playing that deep support. But even though you may not be getting a whole bunch of kills with Cypher, if your team is working things properly, it can still be really fun to just kind of sit back. I had a couple of games. I had one game on ascent that I don't even have any gameplay for because it was that boring, but I would consider it kind of like the perfect Cypher gameplay. I'm pretty sure in the end I went 8-2. And that was a game that we lost, or excuse me, a game that we won like 13 to 3 or something like that. And I went like 8-2, which is an extremely boring game. But it's kind of perfect because I was able to completely shut off one of the sites, right? I play B site with Cypher on Ascent, and I was able to completely shut down that entire site for them, where they refused to push that site and just kept pushing my teammates. And if they ever did try to have somebody lurk onto my site, it was an easy win. We started off defense first, and I think we took defense like 11-1. So it only took us, a couple more rounds on offense to finish out the game. So yeah, it was an extremely boring game, you could say, but it was a really easy win, and it was still a fun game to play, in my opinion. But in any case, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't have much gameplay playing as Cypher. Like I said, I've only been playing him for about 2 days now. I had some fun with Cypher, and I also had some fun with Brimstone, but I'm sure I'll still play primarily a duelist role like Phoenix or Jett, just because I think with my game skill and my ability to aim, even though it may not be the best at the level that I'm playing right now, I work best as that duelist that just runs in and gets all the kills for my team. But in any case, y'all take it easy.
Almost got the edge too.
Almost. Got my tripwire too.